Welcome back to Smells Like Paris. Tonight we're going to center these around the smell of rose. Some of these are rose dominant and some has rose in it, but tonight I believe most of them, and these are certainly not all of what I have, but just what I wanted to talk about tonight, leads with the rose and then accompanied by other notes. I guess we could talk about there are some honorable mentions that I will talk about too, but one of them I do not have here on the table to talk about is one of my absolute favorite rose notes, and it's called Rose Snow by Henry Jacques. I was introduced to that about 13 years ago out of Portland, Oregon, even though they were a house carrying a very famous brand from Paris. And then they discontinued carrying it. I don't know why. Eventually, I had to grab anything that I could get my hands on from Henry Jacques from Paris. And now they currently have a store, if you are in the U.S., in Beverly Hills, California. So I have been shopping there. But tonight we're going to talk about, I guess the first one is a Tom Ford Noir de Noir. This was released, I believe, in 2007. It's an EDP. This one here is a 100 ml size. I don't know if you can see how much juice is in there. This bottle is dark, and that's a very good thing to place it in the dark, because your fragrances really should be in the cool, dark place, and that keeps the juice from spoiling, actually. Most people like to put them out on the table so they look pretty, and you see that on the counters in the department stores, but that's just so that you can avail yourself to it. But actually, that's a horrible place to place them in the direct light. And so Tom Ford in my opinion, has come up with a brilliant idea, as most others are doing now, and that is placing them in a dark bottle. This one has rose and patchouli. It has vanilla. It's a woody fragrance. And it has oud. I don't get much oud in there. If it is very, very mild. It's not skanky. It's a floral. I do get some balsamic in there. I do wish it had a little bit more incense. It's mossy, and it has oak moss. Now, this probably has real oak moss, because oak moss, as you know today, you really don't find oak moss in many fragrances anymore. There are substitute synthetics to emulate the smell of oak moss. It is sensual, it's unique. I would say this is a formal to evening wear, and the only con to this is it's expensive. If I remember, this here is not the most expensive fragrance anymore, but it was when I first purchased. Probably was some of the most expensive ones, but now the prices are way more. But this here, I believe, you'll run about $300. And he also had I believe he had a 500 or 250 ml flacon size to that. But anyway, there you have it. Noir de Noir. Okay, coming up next. Now here's a decant, and I wasn't a real big fan of this particular rose. It's a Siberian rose. It's by Fragrance Du Bois. The perfumer is Shadi Samra, if I'm pronouncing that right. Starts off with a pear and cinnamon. there's tuberose, and I'm not a big fan of tuberose. Uh, and then the rose and leather and moss and patchouli and amber. Um, by the way, that I mentioned that Noir de Noir has a wonderful patchouli. You get many compliments. This is to me, you could wear this in an opera, a concert. You could wear this at a nightclub. But I would say if you really want to impress, you want to wear Noir de Noir on maybe the second date. I wouldn't say wear it out on the first date, but second date, yeah, she will take notice. This can be, and this is unisex, so this can be worn by man or woman. I don't prescribe to male or female. Once you traveled a lot, you'll find that out, that there's no such thing. Fragrances does not have a gender. Okay, this next one I'm going to talk about is by Paris Monte Carlo. There's an extrait and there is an EDP, and these are decants of that. This is the EDP. This one is the extrait. I could just tell very slight differences in the two. I almost believe that I like the EDP better than the extrait. It is based off of the Taif rose, which you will find in India, I believe. It has, this one has a lemon smell. It has geranium, a damask rose, and musk. The perfumer or nose behind this is Luca Maffei. And I believe Luca Maffei presented both the EDP and the extrait. In the extrait, you do get the lemon off the top in bergamot. And it has two types of rose, one from damask rose and then the Taif rose. And it has some Virginia cedar in this. I don't remember or recall if there is Virginia cedar in the EDP. I do not believe that it is. And then the honorable mention, I should have said probably from the top, but Armorad Midnight Rose. You can see how much juice I've used out of that. It's kind of sweet, but I really like it. My wife really likes it. Maybe perhaps one day, but I don't think I'm gonna pull the trigger for a big bottle, as well as even this next one that I'm gonna show you by Mimo Paris, and it's African rose. This, I do believe, is very hard to get. I should have pulled the trigger. I might have mentioned in an earlier video when I was back home in Detroit. I'm now residing in St. Louis. But the lady at the counter, as I was trying some of the Mimo Paris fragrances, she mentioned that might be discontinued. This beautiful rose. I believe this is a husband and wife team, and they travel the world and they create fragrances that best describes the smells, the sights, the sounds of where they are. And this one here is, they also have one, it's called African Leather, which is, all their other fragrances are very, very nice. I particularly have tried and would pull the trigger on a full bottle of Irish leather, I believe it was, that I liked, in French leather as well. But anyway, there you have it, Mimo Paris. And this one here is another honorable mention, I could say, is Rose d'Araby by Armani. This is from there's a little decant, it's from the Privé line. I'm not talking about, most people will go in the department store and hear of Armani, and you won't find this unless you're in a very exclusive department stores, and you would like Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom, Saks, Fifth Avenue, Bloomingdale's, something like that, or you're in Rodale Drive area and you happen to be in one of the stores that's a boutique of Armani, you would see the Privé line. And this is a beautiful rose smell. This, I'm not sure when I first came in contact with this, but had to be at least over 15 years ago, maybe, I would bet. And it's pretty nice. And this here, I decanted a small thing, and if you really want to smell like a rose, this here, to me, is close as you'll ever get. And this is from Spirit of Dubai, and I decanted this, and it's called Nargisi. And so that's Narjesi. It comes in a very beautiful bottle. One day I'll bring it out. And it has a black rose on top with crystals on there. Run you about $1,275 for a 100 ml size or 75. The price is ridiculous, but that smell is very good. Later I'm going to talk perhaps, and I did get something in the mail from, I guess it came in today. It was an absolute scrubber, and it came from Italy. And I do have them here on the table. I had to wash them off, and they're listed in numeral numbers. They're terrible, but we'll get into that later. But anyway, as I say, I try to keep these videos short and simple and sweet. Always smell like Paris. If this is the kind of content you like, hey, it helps the channel if you hit the subscribe button and leave a comment too, because I love doing these videos for you. I try to do at least 3 a week. As I'm not real busy, I may even do 4 to 5 videos a week. I don't want to bore you. I do want to always keep you engaged and excited about the different fragrances, and give you my honest and true opinion. So I'm going to bid you a good night, and always remember, smell like Paris.